uh, it's a white privilege is tough. It's tough to talk about. I hate to say it. I believe it. I know there is white privilege, but it just makes me cringe because I think of of what it means, what it represents. Uh, it's a it's the inherent advantages possessed by a white person on the basis of their race in a society characterized by racial inequality and injustice. And you know, I think it was the Oxford Dictionary where I found that definition. Um, and So it's a real thing. I think it's one of my favorite chapters in the book, and maybe it's because I wrote it. No, I'm kidding. It's because it's very confrontational. It's one of the only chapters we say, please don't skip this chapter, because sometimes when you're most uncomfortable, that's when you're growing. And so it's an uncomfortable chapter. And the word privilege sometimes, is what throws people off, because people say, well, I don't, I wasn't raised wealthy. I wasn't raised privileged. So you could use the word advantage, right? I mean, the reality is there were certain advantages that you were given because you were white. And I mean, that's just bottom line. We have this whole little illustration we do on page 70 called Check Your Privilege, where, I don't know if you saw that part, you hold up 10 fingers and you put a finger down for each question. And inevitably, every white person I do it with, they finish the exercise. They may look like this, or maybe this, or maybe this, but majority of the black people that I do it with, they look like this, because they've had so many, whatever you want to call them, microaggression moments, or intense moments. And so that's a great illustration. It's on page 70 and 71, great illustration of what white privilege looks like.
Wow. I tell you, the part that really captured me is on page 69, I guess one page away,
Yep. Yep.
where it says, white privilege doesn't mean you haven't had any problems. It means your skin color hasn't been one of them. Um, I just thought that was really
Yep.
wow.
Yep.
Now,
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you.
Code Keepers, we're having an interesting conversation, on God and race by one of the co-authors, Brother John here, founder and senior pastor of the Life Church and the co-author of God and Race.